Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Harsh,
Yes, sir.
you are one of the few people who has given the foreign service as the first option.
Yes, sir.
Any particular reason?
So my first inspiration to join civil services came when I was reading the book by Mr. Shiv Shankar Menon, Choices. And it was there that I found how interesting foreign services is.
What is interesting?
So he was very insightful about everything, about how the world works, about major events that have shaped Indian diplomacy and international relations.
How would you define diplomacy?
So diplomacy will be an art of how foreign services is conducted and how to align it with the domestic policies.
Let's say I am telling her, you don't have to be diplomatic with me. What does that mean?
So sometimes it is used in a way of saying that the answer should be straightforward given and not try to balance.
So meaning thereby that diplomacy might have some negative connotation?
Yes, sir.
Like diplomacy in the sense of international diplomacy, not between.
So international diplomacy usually is about promoting a particular country's interests. And the negative connotation here is that sometimes it tries to, what happens is a country's particular interest can be not aligned with the interest of the other countries, which is why sometimes it is criticized.
So which means in national interest, it's okay to lie as a diplomat.
So from my understanding, what I have felt about it is that it's not about lying. Diplomacy is not about lying. It is about building trust between.
It's about not
countries.
telling the truth.
It could be partially, but it is only my limited understanding. I do not have.
Why do we have a high commissioner in Pakistan and an ambassador in China?
So high commissioners are placed where the countries which were initially part of the British Empire. So it is a historical nomenclature that has been followed even now.
In spite of our very, some people believe, a very unpleasant colonial past, why would India choose to remain a member of the Commonwealth?
So the freedom struggle that India had was, it attempted to build a world that is based on mutual harmony, and it was not based on hatred and recognition of the future that can be built in a more positive way. So India decided that it will remain a part of Commonwealth. And
Well, India tried the non-aligned movement, the Commonwealth and 100 other things.
yes, sir.
Nothing really worked. Why? Non-aligned movement practically does not exist, whatever we might say. Why do you think it was such a failure?
So non-aligned movement does not exist as strongly as it did initially right after our independence. But it does not mean that at that point, after in 1950s and 60s during the Cold War era, it was a complete failure. In fact, I feel it was able to achieve some of the important targets that we had set, which was to build a United Nations into a global platform for countries to interact with each other and to figure out ways. For example, the Suez crisis. Even though India was used that platform and non-aligned movement to criticize the British occupation of the Suez. So in some ways it was able to bring countries on board on following the international protocols.
Tell me 3 qualities that you have that make you fit to be a diplomat. And tell me 3 qualities you have that make you unfit to be a diplomat.
Yes, sir. So for the qualities that I have which make me fit to be a diplomat, I would say, and this is based on my assessment, the first one is I feel with proper training I could be good at communication skills. The second one I feel is I have a deep interest in world history and things that are going around in the world. And third is that I feel that if given a chance to represent India in the international forum, I will be able to do good there. For example, how Miss Vidisha Mehta and Miss Inam Gambhir had done.
And 3 negatives that might make you unfit.
Yes, sir. This is a slightly more difficult question, but what I feel is 3 qualities. The first quality will be that I tend to judge things on the basis of how they are. For example, it will be difficult for me to say that things are going well in Afghanistan now. So I'm more direct spoken, which might be a little problem for a diplomat. And a second quality will be, this is more of a quality, but it might come in the way of being a good diplomat, would be I feel that there's a part of me which is very compassionate, that when I see people suffering, it becomes very difficult for me to ignore what is happening. And a third will be, so diplomacy is a very comprehensive. I feel that it is more of a game which major countries are playing, which big countries like US and USSR and Russia are playing. And I being there with my very limited experience, at least in the initial stages, I will not.
That applies to everybody. If you join Suresh, you will have a very limited experience.
Yes, sir.
The first one you said, it will be difficult for you to say that everything is well in Afghanistan. Are you directly trying to tell me you can't lie? We come back to square one.
Yes, sir. Sir, what I will say is, with proper training, I will be able to come up with explaining things in a better way.
Training will be able to lie better.
But I need to learn to lie better.
So you ultimately agree with me that diplomacy is also majorly about telling lies
About hiding.
and justifying them. That it's all done in the national interest.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your interest is world history. Do you think India has got its proper place in the world history?
Sir, do you refer to the world history from the beginning or only after independence?
So world history is world history. If a student of world history reads, do you think it represents India in the right perspective?
Sir, I believe that India has one of the best images abroad, including all the other countries. India has a very strong goodwill that is present in almost all the countries that we share relations with. Compared to other countries, and this is rooted in our history of the non-violent movement that we had for freedom struggle and the cultural ethos that that permeates all over India in truth and non-violence. So yes, sir, I believe that India has a good position.
China talks of some road and belt. So which road and which belt?
Sir, it was launched the Belt and Road Initiative was launched in 2013, and the belt and road refers to the Silk Road that existed in antiquity, which was used as a major transportation route across all over the world.
And belt?
So the belt refers to the maritime belt across which the transportation used to happen.
So how China is claiming monopoly on the Silk Road? Was China the only source of silk?
Sir, I do not have
You
complete.
can remove this.
Yeah, because your specs are fogging.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I feel that China was not the only country which was part of this. In fact, Afghanistan, India, the Takshila area, it used to be a major route for transportation. But for silk production, even now, India ranks second in silk production. So China was not the only country with a monopoly.
How come China is monopolizing this Silk Road?
So China has a tendency, it is something called irredentism and interpretation of history in its own favor. So while India has been a part of this, in fact, China has been doing this for other things as well, like appropriation of the Buddhist circuit. It is trying to claim that Buddhism, for a major section, developed in China alone, whereas India was the place where it originated in the first place.
So you see, foreign relations, are they more to sell your products, or is it like, if I am his friend because I am not doing business with him, we are friends. But in foreign relationships, are the relations actually intended for friendship, or they are more for business or trade? Okay.
So trade is one of the major aspects of being a friend, because even in a friendship between two people, there is a give and take relation that exists. The give and take usually, in this case, it can be defined in terms of monetary terms, but there is
say friends. It means there is no give and take. That's how friends become.
You might end up in a major debate about treating people as ends in themselves or as means to an end. Correct?
yes, sir.
I'll come to that later. Let it go.
Yeah, so continue.
So, for example, when two countries are trading, if they are doing this in a free and fair basis, where both of them are benefiting, then it is a good symbol of being a friend. But the aspect that I believe you're talking about, it is the soft diplomacy, which is about creating goodwill and supporting the other country in times of difficulties, which India has also done. So both of these go hand in hand while trying to establish the interest of one country in another.
Okay. So, for example, the main thing that has happened is the main change it's happening in the automobile sector is due to the electric vehicles. Now, say one country developed wonderful batteries. Okay. Now, what will happen if they have developed and others don't have it? So then, how do you see the situation in the world? Like it's happening for vaccine.
Yes, sir.
It's like an environmental vaccine, having battery technology. So, will the balance of the world shift in that case? Or if one country makes very good batteries, then same thing will come that, okay, you make it unpatented and you make it freely available to everybody.
So technology is one major aspect why a country becomes very progressive, which is one reason why USA is considered a hegemon in the unilateral world right after collapse of USSR. But even in case of friendship, while maintaining foreign relations, the foreign relations which are conducted is not purely on the basis of benefit of the entire world. It is foreign diplomacy. In fact, foreign policy is always done with the objective of domestic transformation of the country itself. So in this particular case,
I'm talking of, simple thing. Technology which the world desperately needs.
yes, sir.
Should it be patented and monopoly of one country which made it very good, or should it be like vaccine they are saying, you make it open source, let everybody get access? Are you in favor of it or not? And will the same thing apply to electric batteries tomorrow? I'm giving an example now.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe that will depend on case to case. For example, in case of vaccine, it is a life-saving technology and it cannot be monopolized. It should be shared, which is what India's position is presently. But for certain technologies which are not needed as desperately, if we make it freely distributable, make it open source, in that case, the country that has developed it will lose the incentive to do so. And in that case, no country will be willing to develop the technology itself, while wishing that some other country will develop the technology and they get access to it at some point of time. So, sir, I believe there has to be a balance depending upon how immediate the need for that is. Thank you, sir.
So, Harsh,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the most important things for a runner?
For a runner,
Yeah,
that will depend upon where.
your experience. As
From
well.
my experience as a marathon.
You ran 4 marathons.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for running long distance marathon, which is more of an endurance sport, the first thing I feel is to keep hydrated while running, especially in times of in summers, like I've run in the new Gurugram half marathon. Water loss tends to be very high. Second is to get those minerals or what I'll call electrolytes electrolyte loss leads to some people getting dizzy, and a lot of people actually felt dizzy, and they have to either take a stop.
Hydration is one. Next.
Second will be wearing loose clothes, what is called wicker technology, so that sweat comes to the front and then perspirates. So proper clothing is second. Third will be training, because without proper warming up and adequate training, directly jumping into marathon might lead to a lot of injuries, especially in the calf muscles.
So you've been in Gurgaon.
Yes.
What are your roles in Deloitte? You still working for Deloitte?
No ma'am, I have changed my work to a small company called Zoanta Consulting.
Okay, so you're consulting for?
Most of the clients that we have are from US, and this is an IT consulting firm, so we provide them services such as web development or app
You
development.
did
or
any
data-
government consulting as well?
Sorry?
Any consulting with the government clients?
No ma'am, not so far.
So in Gurgaon, you can see islands of urbanization as well as lots of villages lying there. NH8 practically separates old Gurgaon from New Gurgaon. Right? So let us say if I make you DC of Gurgaon, so do you think it is already a well-planned city, or would you want to make some changes?
I feel Gurugram is comparatively very well planned compared to most of the cities that I've lived in, either Katihar or Kharagpur. But there will always be a scope for improvement. In this particular case, the islands of very well developed pockets versus small areas where there is not adequate electricity or even water supply. So there is a duality that exists. Now, as a district collector, my first priority will be to ensure that the basic amenities are provided to all, even those pockets which do not have these services. So the infrastructure, the hard infrastructure is first change I would like to make.
Okay. Recite some favorite poetry of yours, Harsh.
Yes, ma'am. I'll recite from Maithili Sharan Gupta ji, नरहो न निराश करो मन को. कुछ काम करो जग में रहकर कुछ नाम करो, ये जन्म हुआ किस अर्थ हो, समझो जिसमें यह व्यर्थ न हो, कुछ तो उपयुक्त करो तन को, नरहो न निराश करो मन को. समझो कि सुयोग न जाए चला, समलो की सुयोग न जाए चला, कब व्यर्थ हुआ सदुपाय भला, समझो न जग को निराश अपना, पथ आप प्रशस्त करो अपना, अखिलेश्वर है अवलंबन को, नरहो न निराश करो मन को. जब प्राप्त तुम्हें सब तत्व यहाँ, फिर जा सकता वह सत्व कहाँ. जब प्राप्त तुम्हें सब तत्व यहाँ, फिर जा सकता वह सत्व कहाँ. तुम स्वत्व सुधारस पान करो, उठ के अमृत विधान करो, दलरूप रहो भव कानन को, नरहो न निराश करो मन को. Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Bodh Gaya, Buddhism and today's Bihar.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the commonality and what is the contradiction?
Ma'am, Bodh Gaya, Buddhism and Bihar are very closely related, but Bihar is more expansive, more wide in terms of geography. Bodh Gaya is well developed in terms of tourism, but the rest of the Bihar is not. Buddhist circuit is very well developed and especially attracts tourists from the East Asian countries and wherever Buddhism is practiced. But tourism in the rest of Bihar is not. Second is, in terms of connectivity, there is a similarity across Bodh Gaya and Bihar. Third will be, there is a decline in the number of people who practice Buddhism, and this has been all over India, but in Bihar it is almost non-existent except in small pockets in the Buddhist circuit. Another commonality will be the decline of ancient universities. Nalanda University was another Nalanda University, a new one, was initiated in 2010 but saw a lot of decline. And this is the similarity for all other major educational institutions across Bihar as well. So these are some of the similarities again.
Contradiction?
Contradiction will be Bodh Gaya is the center where Buddhism started to spread, and the contradiction here is it is not practiced within Bihar itself in most of the pockets. Second will be people in Buddhism is all about being, it's about humanity, it's about being human. But there have been a lot of cases where female tourists who came to Bodh Gaya or in Bihar were either attacked or
Right.
people who have been looted.
Yeah.
These are some of the contradictions.
What is the uniqueness in the buildings and the road plan of Haryana?
Yes, ma'am. I'm presently living in New Gurugram area, and it is very well developed.
Who developed this?
Sorry, ma'am.
Who developed it?
The Haryana government. It was developed in the PPP model. It was floated. The tender was, I think, floated in 2010, and it was developed under the New Gurugram Master Plan of 2025. So-
Designed by an Indian architect or?
Ma'am, that I do not know. Most of the projects were allocated to DLF, which is an Indian company. So I believe it might be an Indian, but I
No,
do
it's
not
not
know.
an Indian. It's a Swiss architect.
Thank you, ma'am, for telling me
Okay.
this. The roads that have been developed, Haryana has been able to make excellent uses of its proximity to Delhi. Presently, some of the roads that have been built to ensure that the Ghaziabad and the Manesar or Gurugram area is developed is the KMP, which is Kundli Manesar Palwal Road, also called the Eastern Peripheral Road.
What do you mean by